All right, episode 4 of Who Needs It? I am your host, or one of your hosts, Harris. The other one is...
Dalton, and Harris is Bosnian.
Don't forget it.
Also, it feels like this is like episode 37 instead of episode
I know
4.
Yeah, if we keep losing episodes.
Well, that, and then it's like, how many did we record before we actually decided to release any of them? That was started 2 years ago. We might have already talked about this, or this could have got lost in the episode where we lost everything, so who knows?
Yeah. What do I look like? Someone who listens to our podcast more than once?
Honestly, I don't even listen to our podcast. I'll be honest. I edit it, and then that's my way of listening to it.
Oh, yeah. I listen to it to be like, how shit do I sound?
Oh,
like episode 1, my audio was unbearable, and then episode 2, I just forgot how to have a personality.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was okay. I was like, did you listen to the last one?
Yeah, episode 3.
Did you
the late episode?
Yeah. Did you like how I edited the part
edit?
That you
yeah,
cut
you
it?
cut out. Yeah.
And then no one has any idea what I said, but behind the scenes, I don't know. I made it sound so I sounded like I wasn't as insane because I cut some of the stuff that you said as well, calling me out for what I said.
Yeah, you should do that. Yeah,
but it was great because there was that awkward silent pause, and then it was just you going, "You have to cut that."
Yeah,
I was very proud of myself. So. But yeah, I don't know if you want to... What do you want to talk about first? I think we have quite a bit of stuff. I don't know if we want to wait a little bit to talk about Fallout. I've watched all the episodes now, but I don't know if you wanted... In case people don't want to get spoiled, maybe we don't put it first. Or maybe we put it first so then they can skip to the end. I don't know. Whatever you think.
No, they wouldn't skip around this show.
That's fair.
Let's leave Fallout for last.
Okay.
And I'll start off with... the show I was meant to watch back in, episode 1? Which is Dorohedoro. And this show was interesting in a way. I turned it on and watched the first 2 episodes and was like, this show is not for me. It was so abrasive. And...
Abrasive how? More abrasive than the show where a little demon fetus baby boy decides to kill demons to gain his arms and limbs back. It was more abrasive than that.
Yes. Just it's very, I would describe it as the most anti-me show possible, but I kept watching out of curious because a few things it was doing I was enjoying, but overall the package it was delivering it in was not really my taste. It's to the point where I don't think I can critique this show because I'm so not the audience for it that I just kind of sat back and was like, let's see what happens here. But my judgment on it, if I told you every thought I had about it, I don't think it would be an apt description of how you would approach this show, because it's like trying to understand music from a different country that you don't speak the language of and trying to critique if that music or those lyrics are good because you don't understand it. But I watched all 12 episodes of the show, and I don't know how to wrap this show up. I know it's getting another season, but
what was
it's
the plot or whatever? Because I don't know. You say you don't like it, but maybe people don't know what anime you don't like, or what's not. Because I guess you talked about oh, was it you care about characters more? The plot could not matter, but as long as the characters are good, you don't really care. So was it bad characters?
No. This show, it's just the way it's presented. It gives like a lot of like, I don't want to say anime dub energy. You know, when they're very loud and none of their dialogue feels natural. But everything in that show is this way. So I got to a point while I was watching like the first 2 episodes where I was like, I just need to watch this show and let it do its thing, and then if it converts me into liking it, that's fine. But I don't feel like my opinion is valid when talking about this show, because I have looked up what people like about this show, and people do like this show. And they do talk about the characters and their interactions and the world, and the art of the original manga. But when I watched it, I just absorbed all the episodes, and by the end of it, I was like, okay, but if they make 12 more episodes, I'm gonna watch these 12 episodes. So I guess I do like the show. That answers none of your question about the plot, but the plot is about a guy with amnesia who now has a lizard's head instead of a normal human head.
Makes sense.
And they live in a world with magic, and you know, there's a class of people who can use magic to different degrees, so they're viewed as above the people who can't use magic. But the guy got cursed, and now that's why he has a lizard's head. Without giving too many spoilers, he's looking for his lizard's head, and to find out who cursed him, he has to put their head inside of his mouth, and then a second person's face pops up and decides if that's the person that cursed them. If that doesn't make sense, welcome to Dorohedoro. And I don't mean that as like a derogatory thing. Like, that is the energy this show brings, and if that's not your energy, can't say it's for you. But I also did watch every single episode, so keep that in mind. Also, the baseball episode was actually good. Like, for an anime to have a good baseball episode, I was like, oh, this show is doing something correct. But yeah.
Is that like a genre of episode? I know like animes have like the beach episode, but is a baseball episode a thing?
Yeah, just like the beach episode. Sometimes they go to the beach, sometimes they go to the bathhouse, sometimes they go play baseball.
Fair. So yeah.
Don't know why I said that in an accent, but
baseball. Yeah, so
sometimes gotta go play them baseball.
Yeah, so it was pretty much just like you just weren't feeling it, pretty much. Like, because I'm trying to read some of the like reviews or whatever, and like it seems like people kind of like it. I also like how it's Dorohedoro is mud sludge. Apparently, that's the English translation of this show. Is called mud sludge. So, do you think that's an apt name for this?
Oh, absolutely. And like, if you look at the pages, that the pages of the manga really reflect that, and that author's art style is fantastic. I think it looks incredible because it's very like scratchy, and it kind of looks like it was etched on a bathroom wall with a pocket knife. That's the kind of art style she has, and it's fantastic.
Gotcha. Interesting.
It looks like a early 2000s heavy metal band's cover. Like, that's what her art looks like.
Yeah. Weird. I'm just like trying to like look. I'm trying to read reviews and stuff, and people are just like freaking love this thing.
Oh yeah, and they're in the right on this. I just want that to be clear.
I am in the wrong in this.
Yeah, I'm in the wrong. It was just so like not a thing for me, but I needed to try to understand why it wasn't. And then by the end of it, I was like, okay, but when are more episodes coming?
Yeah. Well, when was this first season released? Because it looks like that the manga ran through like the early 2000s. It looks like.
The anime. Well, it was Studio Mappa. Okay. It came out in 2020. It is a almost all three. Oh, this is something I really wanted to talk about. It's an almost completely 3D animated show.
Yeah, that's like the only thing I've seen
And
is like some people think like the CG was really bad and the character models look janky. But besides that,
I also would disagree with that. I don't think the character models look janky. It's just that's what they look like, and like in the manga, they look pretty on model.
gotcha. I think it's because I literally found one bad review, and they said that, but it's like this is what literally like the end of their review. It's like, for anyone looking for an anime with good characters, with compelling backstories, intriguing plot, great world building, and a good soundtrack, steer clear of this anime. So I'm guessing they didn't like this very much. Yeah. So
Yeah, if you rewinded my life like 2 years ago when I watched this, I'd probably have left the same review. But I think this is so like its own thing, and if it's not for you, you kind of shouldn't be reviewing it, if that makes sense. That's like if I watched an episode of Blue's Clues and went, well, that was kind of stupid. Yeah, but I'm not the target audience. That's not who it's being made for.
yeah, exactly. But yeah. So would you? I would assume that you would recommend Dotoro over Doro Hidoro.
Yeah, I would, but it's difficult to compare them.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would definitely. I think Dororo is something more people need to see.
Gotcha.
I think Dorohedoro, if you know what Dorohedoro is and you know the kind of person that would like it, you should show them this.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it sounds like Dorohedoro is probably more like of a, I want to say like mainstream anime, but I feel like people who like anime would probably enjoy that more than Doro. I forgot to say it now. I've said it too many times. Just because I don't know, it seems like more like a normal anime plot. That this guy is in strange new world, doesn't have memories, must get his memories back. He's also a lizard. So I don't know. I also don't watch anime, so
yeah. if you're looking for a weird offbeat, like dark gothic anime, definitely check this out. But again, it's kind of like its own thing, so it's hard to put into words.
Fair.
Yeah, like some parts of it feel like they don't make sense.
Yeah.
Even though I watched every minute of it.
Dude, I just realized, are we an anime podcast? Is that what we are now?
I think we might be. I think we're in too deep.
An anime
Let's
podcast.
keep talking about video games every episode. So
yeah, well, like I don't watch anime, but it's an anime podcast. So it's just me be like, oh, that's crazy, anime, man. That's crazy. I've heard
anime. That's that real.
I've heard if we talk about Full Metal Alchemist or Yu Yu Hakusho, that's pretty much my only frame of reference for anime knowledge.
Funny you bring that up.
Oh,
I am currently working on a rewatch of Yu Yu Hakusho.
I didn't even know. We have like a file.
Did you not read the doc?
Well, the doc says YuYu Hakusho. I just saw YuYu and didn't read the rest of it. You misspelled YuYu Hakusho, so I had no idea.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, so I was like, what the fuck is YuYu Hakusho? Alright, so yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho, the best anime ever created in the history of all time. So you're rewatching it? Are you rewatching all of it or certain parts? Because I know that's a thing people do.
I'm gonna watch all of it again. Just because it's been a very long time since I've done a rewatch of it, so.
Fair. I think I've watched the whole series. I've watched the whole series once, but I've watched the beginning to the end of the tournament 5 times. And
okay,
yeah, because okay, you know, in Yu Yu Hakusho, after oh my god, what's it called?
The Dark Tournament.
Dark Tournament. It's kind of not great. I don't really care about that whole side plot where I'm forgetting all the characters' names. Genkai has like new disciples, and they're for some reason better than the main characters all of a sudden. And there's like the maze and stuff. I thought that wasn't great, so I kind of just always stop right after that. Also, spoilers for YuYu Hakusho, I guess.
Oh, well, too late now.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Before I get into my little discussion on Yu Yu Hakusho, what appeals to you about Yu Yu Hakusho?
I don't know. It's probably honestly nostalgia bait, just because I don't know why they allowed this to happen, but like it was on at like 4:30 on weekdays on Toonami, like after school. Like that's probably not like a great anime to have on like TV for like on Cartoon Network like during the day. I mean, it's not like I guess it has some adult themes, but it's very violent and like people like straight up fucking die. Like, and they don't die like in Dragon Ball where like, oh, they're dead, but they're gonna come back, don't worry. It's like, no, that guy got ripped in half and he's dead now. So I don't know. I guess probably more nostalgia, but I don't know. I don't know. Cuz like I don't really like oh dude, I haven't watched it so long and I forgot everyone's name. What is the main character's name? Yusuke. Like I think Yusuke sucks.
Urameshi?
Like I assume your favorite character is Hiei. I feel like I can
that's
I can
obvious.
safely assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's fire trucks are red, water is wet. My favorite character is Hiei.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I think it's because I watched it a lot when I was a kid, so I just like it's just like a comfort show to go back to. I think the soundtrack's really good. I'd like the theme for like the theme song for the show is like on my rotation of music because it's I love that theme song. It doesn't really fit in with the rest of the show because it's kind of upbeat, and the show is not very upbeat. But yeah, I guess just that. Is yours the same? Did you watch it when you were a kid, or did you get into it later?
I think the same exact thing because I remember it was one of those anime. So little Harris backstory. I watched anime as a very young child on Adult Swim when it got so late. I think they used to play anime every night, and that's how late / early I would wake up. It would either be I would go to bed so late that I would watch the anime, or I would go to bed so early that I would wake up in the middle of the night and watch that anime. So that's how I watched like certain Gundam, Cowboy Bebop, Neon Genesis Evangelion,
Boo.
Big O. But that's how I watched like Inuyasha and stuff.
Yeah. Or no Naruto?
So Naruto was on right before Adult Swim would start.
Oh, that's fair.
Or right before Toonami would start.
Yeah, it used to have, I don't know if it was just like weekends, but it used to have like anime that like started at like 9 p.m. Because nowadays it's just like, I think Adult Swim is like King of the Hill, Family Guy, American Dad, Bob's Burgers, and then it gets like midnight, and then it's like, what is Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Death Clock, stuff like that. And I don't know if they even do anime much anymore, unless it's like, I feel like anime
got moved to Saturdays.
Yeah, because I remember when I was a kid, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah, Family Guy's about to be on, and then I would be like, oh, it's Saturday, and I have to watch fucking Evangelion, which I fucking hate Evangelion. It's garbage. But we can talk about that some other time.
We'll talk about it another time. I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, it is fair.
But we'll talk about it another time.
But yeah, so, Yu Yu Hakusho, Little Harris, what were you saying?
Yeah, so I remember coming home, and that was one of the ones that was on during the day, because I was like, the sun is out, but anime is on the TV. Something is wrong here.
Exactly.
But they also did it with, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is, like, a kid's anime. Like, that's, like, Pokemon or something. Like, it's marketed towards kids. Like, I feel like Yu Yu Hakusho is more of like a Cowboy Bebop. Well, maybe not Cowboy Bebop, but somewhere between Yu-Gi-Oh and Cowboy Bebop, there's like a section of anime that's like not for kids, but not like super rated R, like in a, for adults. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I feel like it fits in the middle.
Yeah, slightly more mature, but not.
Yeah, like I don't know if even young adult works, but like, yeah, like I guess young adult. I guess we would say, because like the story is not super great, and like the characters are all teenagers, so I think it's supposed to be like marketed to that.
Yeah, they're all, high schoolers, so or of that age.
Isn't Yusuke only like 13? Isn't that like a thing? Or like when the show
I think
it starts?
He's a sophomore. He's like 14 or 15.
That's fair. Oh, did you watch
Yeah.
are you watching it subbed or dubbed?
I am watching it dubbed,
Fair. I know.
which is the correct way to watch it.
Watching it dubbed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the only anime I'm like, no, it's better dubbed. It's better dubbed.
Yeah, I think it's just because I always find myself be like, oh, the only problem with dub is like, it seems like there's like 3 people who dub things in animes anime back at that time. Because like the principal of his high school is the same guy who does the voice actor for King Bradley in Full Metal Alchemist, and it's the same voice, pretty much. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking Fuhrer King Bradley. I mean, both of them are kind of bad guys, but it was just funny to me.
No, the principal's actually working with.
It's the vice principal, the one that like has the glasses.
Yeah, it's with the glasses. Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, what made you just want to rewatch it?
Oh,
what were you gonna say?
I was just looking. I finished Dorohedoro and didn't know what else to watch, and was like, I've been meaning to go back to Yu Yu Hakusho and check it out, but it was either that or go back to Naruto and check it out.
Yeah, I feel like Yu Yu
But I feel
Hakusho
like
is a little less of a commitment. I mean, it's still quite a few episodes, but not Naruto level episodes.
Yeah, and if I go back to Naruto, I'm watching it with a filler guide.
Oh, like what episodes to skip?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really. Is there? How far are you into rewatching Yu Yu Hakusho, or did you just like start?
Yeah, I just started 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Gotcha.
So we're not to the Dark Tournament yet. The episode I just finished was the when you first meet Genkai, there's a guy trying to steal her special power.
Right. Is that the tournament to like be here like
Yeah, to be your student. Yeah.
And then
So I just finished that episode.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I was just trying to remember. Like, I don't really super remember a lot of filler episodes. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I don't think I haven't seen anything filler so far. I don't know how much filler Yu Yu Hakusho has, but comparing it to like Naruto or
Dragon Ball,
like this show is just flying by. So
yeah. Did you have a little spiel about Yu Yu Hakusho you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. So quick plot. Beginner is Yusuke dies. Episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers.
To save a child from getting hit by a car. But it turns out that the child would have not got hit by the car in the first place.
Yeah, if he didn't act, they both would have been fine.
That's my favorite part. Is they're like, yeah, you killed yourself for literally no reason. Like, the car was going to swerve and would have been fine, and you just killed yourself. So, oopsie.
Yeah, it's a good setup. So then he has to do some things in the afterlife to come back, but when he comes back, he is now a spirit detective, which means he has to have fun. Just had a stroke. Which means he has to hunt demons, and that's how the rest of the series proceeds.
Yeah,
it's not a detective show. It's more of just like a fighting anime, pretty much, just your typical shonen.
Yeah, is the tagline Yu Yu Hakusho Spirit Detective?
It is.
Yeah, they kind of ditched that whole spirit detective by like episode 12.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
After the Dark Tournament, it kind of like, yeah, he's not a spirit detective. I guess for a little bit he's like doing missions and stuff, Like when he was trying to rescue Hiei's sister and stuff. That was kind of a mission.
Yeah. But the thing I like to talk about with Yu Yu Hakusho is from my memory, the overall the series is pretty good. Not super spectacular, but I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
That first episode is one of the best first episodes in anime.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
It's so good. My only issue with Yu Yu Hakusho is it wasn't the first more of the first episode. It just kind of turned into Spirit Detective then fighting tournament thing, whereas I wanted more of like the day-to-day stuff, the more Yusuke thinks he has a complicated relationship with his mom. It's a single mom. She has a alcohol addiction.
Yeah, no dad in the picture at all.
Yeah, there's no dad. They're broke as hell. And
doesn't have a lot of friends.
When he dies,
he kind of just has one, like, I guess he kind of grew up with her. That's why they're friends, right? Him and Keiko.
Yeah. But he's, acts violent, and then when he dies, he gets to see everyone who was in his life that he didn't know the relationship he had to them until he was gone, and they expressed these emotions. So his mom was like devastated, and she just wanted her son back, and he was like, I thought she would be happy that I'm gone. Now she doesn't have to worry about me. Or how he feels about Keiko, where he's like, oh, now she doesn't have to worry about me making it to school or not. But he gets to see the effect he has on these people's lives, and I was like, man, that's really good. And then the funeral scene when Kuwabara shows up, and he just is screaming that he's like, get up.
Yeah, he has like a mental breakdown at the funeral. And like Kuwabara is like,
it's so good.
I don't know if you even call him like Yusuke's bully. It was just like there's almost like kind of like turf wars between different groups of like just high school students. And Kuwabara was just one of those guys, and Yusuke just beats the fucking shit out of him every goddamn day of the week, because Kuwabara is a big dumb idiot who just wants to fight and be the strongest guy. And like, I don't know, like Kuwabara is like realizes after Yusuke dies that like Yusuke is important to his life, because like it gives him purpose to be like stronger or something. I don't know. Is that what you kind of got from it?
Yeah, that scene where he just is denying reality, where he's like, no, get up, like you have to get up. It's so good because it says more than he has to overcome Yusuke. He uses Yusuke as like a guiding motivation for something, and if that motivation is gone, what's it all worth?
Yeah,
even though they're like, yeah, he's beat you 1,000 times and you've beaten him 0, and he goes, yeah, but I almost had him. It's that,
yeah, and it's like,
this is like
it's not like a negative
certainty in his life.
Yeah, and it's not like a negative relationship either. It's like I feel like Kuwabara respects Yusuke, and I think to some extent Yusuke does too, because I mean, like, this guy just gets his ass kicked by him every single day, and he's still like, all right, see you tomorrow. Same time tomorrow. But
yeah, and the episode where Yusuke has to take over, I just said his name, Kuwabara's body.
Yeah.
That's a really good episode, because you get to see Kuwabara's, like, what Kuwabara would do for his friends, where he has to agree not to fight for a week, but then all the other like rival pods of teenagers keep beating his ass, and it's just surprisingly good in those early episodes where you get to like character interactions and all them meeting, and like Yusuke trying to better understand people from their point of view rather than the surface level relationship he thinks he has with them.
Yeah, I guess I never realized how much of like those early episodes are like that, because then it literally just turns into like almost just like a beat 'em up anime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when he has to like Spirit Detective, it's like, oh, there are these 3 objects and 3 demons have each one of the objects, and you have to beat them and get the objects back.
Which one?
It just
Was that the one where he like
that
meets
is
Hiei and Fox guy? What's his name?
ooh, it starts with an H.
Oh my god, how did I? It's Hiei and
It doesn't start with an H. It starts with a K, doesn't it?
yeah, well, because he has like two names. Because like his whole plot thing is interesting as well.
Kurama.
He's like
There we go.
he's like a thief demon, and he comes to Earth and goes into this pregnant woman as the baby, and he gets like raised by this woman, and he's like, I'm a demon that like is a big like he's not like a bad guy, he's just like a thief who steals stuff, but now he's like being raised by a human, and he's like, yeah, I love my mom, like I'm not gonna like I gotta stick around so I can protect my mom from stuff. I don't know, that it's also like an interesting thing too.
Yeah, he gets to experience like human connection. Then when his mom gets sick, he also has a similar like misunderstanding of his relationship to people because his mom raised him as a human child, and he's like, well, I was a burden to her. I was difficult. She felt worse because I put myself on this pedestal of being a demon and humans are below me, so she must have felt shitty. But like all she wanted was her child to be happy. And then she gets sick and he's like, now I have to do anything I can, and he's willing to sacrifice himself to bring her back.
Yeah, is that does he have like a mirror or something? Is that what the artifact that he steals?
He has the mirror.
Yeah. What did you find his name? Kurama. Yeah. So yeah, I kind of forgot about those early episodes, and then there's just Hiei. There's Hiei being Hiei, but I guess we eventually figure out that Hiei has like a heart. Eventually.
Yeah, he's like, I'm nice, but deep down inside.
Yeah, well, I mean, isn't his like race a demon or group of demons? Don't they like kick the males out or something? What am I trying to think of? Do you know what I'm talking about? Because his like sister and him got raised separately.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that part of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But yeah,
we'll probably cover it again when I make it to that section.
Yeah, but it's definitely interesting that like I didn't even think about that. People probably think of Yu Yu Hakusho and think of the Dark Tournament, but I mean the best parts of Yu Yu Hakusho are probably those early episodes where it was like all the character building and things like that. So no, I didn't really think about it like that.
Yeah, that's how I kind of approached it. Where when I was rewatching it, I was like, wow, this show is way deeper than I thought it was. But then it does turn into, your typical fighting one, but it did do some good groundwork to actually make me care about those characters.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I guess there is some. There is like still some character building as it goes on too. I mean, and just like Yusuke is a kid and like he has to fight like one of the strongest demons ever, and he's like, it's almost like he's struggling with his own mortality because he knows he's probably not going to be able to like do anything, because there's like times where he like literally just like locks up and it's like shaking. You remember that kind of where he's like watching some of the Toguro brothers fighting, and he's like, I have to fight this, like I don't know how we're gonna do this, and like I don't want to lose, because if we lose that means like every fight we have means one of my friends might die. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm gonna watch Kuwabara get killed by a kid with yo-yos. It's gonna be awful.
but yeah, not that far into Yu Yu Hakusho, so we can cover some more once I watch more of it.
Yeah, sounds good. Maybe I'll try to watch it. What is it on?
They just put it back onto Netflix.
Okay, yeah, I'll see if I can. I don't know. I think my family doesn't have Netflix anymore, so I'll have to see if I can steal it from my girlfriend's family or something.
Yeah, sounds good. Or just,
I watched it from a sketchy website back in the day to watch it, so maybe I can find that that website again.
You're telling me you didn't watch it on YouTube in 6 parts for each episode?
Yeah, where it's like it's on YouTube, but it's like mirrored backwards and then like blurry, and like the screen shakes, so the automatic detection thing doesn't, see that it's this that you're stealing. Yeah, of course. So cool. What do you want to do? You want to get into Fallout, or you want to talk about some other stuff first?
Let's talk about that Helldivers 2 stuff.
Oh yeah, I don't know. This is just something I keep seeing all over the place. So like, we were talking about. Have you ended up playing it much yet, or not really?
I have not.
So I played it a little bit because we talked about playing it, but I think everyone's just busy, so we haven't really got to that point. But yeah, so Helldivers, it was like really well received game, like lots of positive reviews, like probably one of like most popular games of this year so far, maybe besides like Power World or something. And it's I think it's like the publishers are owned by Sony, so it's only on. I don't think it's on Xbox. I actually don't know, but anyways, like it's on PC and PlayStation, and before you didn't need to like sign into a PlayStation account or anything like that. So, you just pretty much bought the game and played it. Sony is now retroactively making it so that you have to, sign into a PlayStation account to play the game. And there's a lot of countries that don't allow you to have that. Like I saw some comments where it's like, apparently in Kazakhstan you can't have a PlayStation account. Like that's not like a country you can put on the drop down menu. You know what I'm trying to say? Like when you make an account. So
yeah, you're not even able to pick that country as an option.
Right. So
on your, like,
as of
selection.
right now,
so what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, as of right now, those people who bought the game have been playing it for, I think it came out in March, have been playing it for 2 months, can no longer play the game at all. So, and like,
that's ridiculous.
The worst thing is like, this game was like super highly reviewed, like, you know, on Steam, where it says like extremely positive reviews and stuff. They've gotten like, it was like a 9.5 or something on Steam. It is now a 6 out of 10, and they're getting thousands and thousands of negative reviews about it, which I don't really understand. That I think people are kind of stupid to do that, because the publishers of the game, this was not like their decision. Like this is just something that happened and they can't control it, and they're taking it out on like the game. Like I don't know how. I guess that's their only avenue of expressing their anger. But it's like, over the last 2 months, like Helldivers has done a really good job of like building this community and making a really good game. Sony comes in, changes one thing, and then all the consumers are like bashing the game and like yelling at the publishers, when it's like what are they supposed to do? Like I saw a tweet where like a guy's like, he's like, he tweeted like the CEO of the publishing company, and he's like, "Oh, I'm from a country that doesn't have a PSN account." He's like, "What should I do?" And the guy who tweeted, he literally just went, "I don't know." And it's like, you can see how like defeated these people are. It's like you build this game, have all this hype for it, and then it's like it's gone. So I don't know. That was just something that came up, and we had talked about playing it. But yeah, it looks like 150,000 people have left negative reviews on the Steam page now. So
yeah. And I see what you're saying about the attacking the game and the publishers, because the people that made the game want the game to be played. It's not like they don't want that.
Yeah, and it's like, it's so crazy because like the Helldivers like community manager and all this stuff, and like they've been doing like weekly updates and stuff, and like this is probably like one of the most popular games at the moment, you know what I mean? And for it to like get messed up, like for something that's outside of your control, like the company even said like, it's Sony's decision, not ours. So it's like, yeah, it's just like, it sucks a lot. Like I don't know why Sony would do this. I think the reason why they said it was that it was supposed to stop cheating in the game. But I think people have been saying that it's probably because if you have a PlayStation account, when you log in, Sony now has access to like all your data or whatever, and they're probably selling that data to like third party places or whatever. That's what people are thinking. So it's like, yeah, so it's probably that. But it's like, I don't know why Sony would do this. Also, okay, this is gonna sound bad, but because Sony's a Japanese company, right?
Yeah.
It kind of feels like companies in Japan do this kind of stuff. Like, I just think of Nintendo, you know what I mean? They do a lot of bad things, but they just expect, like, the consumers to, like, ignore it and just go along with it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, Nintendo, like, not making, allowing, people to, like, monetize YouTube videos of Nintendo things, or, like, taking them down, like, Nintendo, I think, is trying to sue Gary's Mod because there's Mario. They made a Mario mod and that, you know what I'm trying to say. So I feel like sometimes the companies over there just like kind of get a disconnect from like what's going on. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, and trying to look at it from their point of view, it's kind of like they have to defend their decision making. Because, like, especially when it comes to IP,
yeah,
you know, with like the Mario thing you just said,
yeah,
they have to, because the less they go after things, the more things will slip underneath on like major cases, and that holds less water. That if someone more substantial tries to steal their stuff in court, they'll be like, well, you didn't go after this person for doing it, so why are you coming after me for doing it?
Yeah, the weird thing is like, this is like from 20 years ago. Like, this was like a mod they had, and it's like been a thing for 20 plus years, and now they're just going after it. I don't know. I just see like this thing where like some of these companies like Sony and Nintendo do stuff that I don't see like American companies doing as much. And I just don't know, like, if there's like a disconnect, or they're just like more driven by, like a board or someone that's making these decisions. But maybe it's just because I focus like Nintendo's so notorious for it, and it's just kind of overshadowing it. So, but yeah. So that's what's happened with Helldivers.
So, I guess let's move into Fallout TV show.
From one post-apocalypse to another. So yeah, I have watched the whole series now. So I don't know how.
All right, what'd you think?
I liked it. I'm trying to think, like, what else was I trying to think? Like, I don't super like any of the characters. Who was like the one? So there's like that guy who came to be the new squire from the Brotherhood, the redhead guy,
Maximus.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like that was like the only character I liked. I felt like Maximus was like, I don't know, he's just like a little bitch at all times, and then he like will do something brave, but then he'll just like default back to being the little bitch. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
absolutely. Like, I didn't like either him or what is it, Lucy?
Yeah, Lucy was like, she was okay. I just felt like she was like very naive a lot, which I guess makes sense because that's like what her character is supposed to be. But it was just like a little frustrating at times. But like, I don't think it's bad to have characters that like, I guess what I'm trying to say, like, that fit the role that they're supposed to be. Like, she's supposed to be naive, and it was frustrating that she was naive, but that's what she's supposed to be. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, she was raised in a vault.
Yeah,
being, protected and everything.
Yeah. So you didn't? Why didn't you like Lucy as much?
Similar to that, well, I enjoyed her character early on, but the two big things is that she, in the beginning, was very naive, very positive and upbeat, but as it went on, she didn't, I don't know, I would have liked to see her keep the same upbeat perspective, but still become super like brutal like everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But she wasn't a terrible character. The second key point didn't really enjoy her character is that she just saw Maximus once and they were like, I guess they're in love.
Yeah, that's what I like. I also said that too, and I was like, I felt like whoever like Lucy met, she would have fallen in love with. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't like Maximus. Maximus was just the guy that she ran into. So, yeah, I don't know. And I know you love the ghoul.
Yeah. Do you not like the ghoul? He's the best.
I think he's kind of... I don't know. I think about, like, so it's been 200 years, right? And he's still kind of a pouty little baby about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
yeah, I did think
there's not really much he can do.
Yeah,
you know.
I did think the more that we saw the flashbacks, the more I liked the ghoul. If that makes sense. So, like, how mad he got about them not having, not allowing
the
dogs
dog
in the vault. Yeah. I was like, okay, I like this guy now. He's an okay dude.
Yeah, I was like, he sided with the dog. Yep, you're number one character now.
Yeah, you're number one character. I'll allow you to exist. But yeah, I think that was a good character. I don't know, what did you think of the whole plot? Or I guess whatever you want to get into. I guess if you don't want to talk about plot, what like just your thoughts, I guess.
Overall, they did a lot of good what is that called? Easter egging? You know?
Yeah, there was
or callbacks and stuff to that, where it wasn't obnoxious because most of what they were referencing was things that pertain to the Fallout universe, so it doesn't make sense that those things are there. They're just using them organically, which works way better as a reference than, you know, the only bad reference I saw was when he was like, when he referred to the dog as dog meat, and I rolled my eyes and was like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. But they use references really well in this show without it being obnoxious as hell.
Yeah, I feel like I was like, wait, did anyone ever call him dog meat before? Like, that doesn't really make any sense for what's going on right now. Like, if you would have like been like, he found them and he's like, oh, I thought you were dead meat, dog, and then he calls him dog meat later, that would make sense. But he just randomly called him dog meat. So, I don't know.
Right?
But yeah, I feel like all the other callbacks or references were things that, like, if you didn't know Fallout, you wouldn't have, you weren't like taken out of it to see it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It was very organic how they were put into the series.
Yeah, like all the stuff with the vaults, all like the food or whatever they had, like the weapons and the power armor and stuff. It was like, oh yeah, this is just part of the universe, and it didn't feel like they're like, oh, we have to have this in here. Like, they didn't just like stick a random Deathclaw somewhere where the plot didn't need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that they held off on showing the Deathclaw. They just showed its skull.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think there was anything like nothing felt forced for like references.
Just the dog meat and the one where he pretty much would just said, I want super mutants. And I was like, I want super mutants too.
Wait, where he said he wants super mutants?
Yeah, they're down when they are talking to the investors, the Vaultec people. And the guy in the suit is like,
right, something
super mutants. And I was like, okay. I wish I could have seen those, but they're saving those for later seasons, so it'll be fun to see how. Yep, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, did you freak out when she said war never changes? Did you like?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I was watching it with my girlfriend, and I was like, oh, she said the thing! She said the thing! But yeah. I was disappointed Ron Perlman's not in it to say it, so. They should have had a cameo with Ron Perlman.
I know. It would have been great.
Yeah. I guess, was that guy who he said that he, like, did the voice for the Codsworth robot? Is that the actual voice actor for Codsworth in the game?
Ooh, in the game, I don't think so. In this show, yeah.
Okay, no, because that would have been
in
interesting.
another show.
Because it sounds the same
that would have been
from
fun.
the show as the game. But, no, I didn't know. Because, I mean, obviously, I've never seen the guy who, like, voice acts Codsworth in the game. Let's see. It does not look like it.
Yeah, I just looked. I don't think it is.
Yeah. But yeah. What, any more thoughts?
Yeah, I think it was a good show. I'm excited for season 2, whenever that comes out.
Fair. I think they'll probably try to jump on this pretty quick. I know that there's rumors that they're going to release like a Fallout 3 remastered, which would make sense with like you know how popular this is, that people are probably going to want to play the game, so
yeah, especially with the what is it? Is that, what's the studio on that? Bethesda?
Yeah.
They just love making the same thing on the new consoles.
Yeah, they do like to make remakes a lot. But dude, my first thought when like the show was good, because like that's the thing where like a lot of video game like TV shows are pretty bad. Like I don't think anyone's really hyped about the Halo TV show, but I feel like there's a lot of hype for the Fallout show, and I'm like, dude, if they release another fucking Fallout game before we get another Elder Scrolls game, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. It's been 13 years almost since we've had since Skyrim came out. 13. Someone who was born when the game came out is now a 13-year-old child. But I know for a fact that there's gonna come out with another fucking Fallout game because it got so popular here. Do you agree? Disagree?
I agree. I think they'll keep pushing out the same stuff. I don't know if a new Fallout will come out, because they're just like, well, we can just put out New Vegas again.
That's fair.
So
yeah, someone was
re-release New Vegas for the second time or whatever. But
yeah, someone was like, oh, they need to like do like a trilogy release where they remaster all of them, and then like you can buy like remastered Fallout 3, remastered New Vegas, and Fallout 4, I guess, and like one disc. Well, I guess you don't buy discs anymore, huh? So you just buy it.
Yeah, you just buy all 3 of them.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. This is not the show, but apparently Bethesda only has like, they only work on one game at a time. So the reason why the Elder Scrolls game has been like so delayed is that like 90% of their like force, like Bethesda, was working on Starfield, and only about 10% were kind of working in the backgrounds on the next Elder Scrolls game. So that's like why their like releases are so like, it's just a big gap, is because they work on one, finish it, start another one, finish it. So like apparently since when Skyrim came out, they started working on Fallout 4, released that, and then they started working on Starfield, released that, and now they're like working on like the game to come after that. So it's probably going to be a little bit, because I think Fallout 4 came out in 2014? 2015? So, but yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited for the next season.
Yeah, do
you want to go back and play some Fallout?
I have actually been playing a little bit of Fallout 4.
Ooh, okay.
But yeah, not much. It's just,
give us a little update on your playthrough. What's your build?
So it's gonna sound bad, but I've never actually made a stealth character in Fallout before, so that's what I'm trying to do. But stealth in Bethesda games is kind of lame, because it's like there's always times where you're forced to like fight people one-on-one. So then it's like, okay, I guess I'll just run around in circles, shoot him, and then run some more, and hopefully my companion can tank him while I shoot him.
But yeah, no, I've just been playing the stealth archer version of Fallout. So
I see.
yeah, it's not
And
too
what
bad.
faction are you gonna side with?
I don't know, dude. This might be weird, but ever since I watched the Fallout show, I'm like, dude, I'm never siding with the Brotherhood again. They're just they're just assholes. So I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. I think the first time I played, I sided with the Minutemen. So I'll probably just do that again. Because honestly, I just feel like the Minutemen are like the best. Like, they're the most pure, I guess. Like, they're not, like, there's no like negatives to them. Like the Brotherhood are kind of like, I don't know what you even say. Like, they're,
A cult?
yeah, fanatical, I guess was what I was trying to think of. And then it's like the Institute are also fanatical and like kidnapping people and turning them into synths and stuff like that, or creating synths to replace
Spoilers
them.
for Fallout 4.
Yeah, and then like, I don't know, I guess the Underground, they're okay, I guess, but they also seem like their only priority is to protect synths, which is fine. But it's like the Minutemen want to like make the wasteland a better place, make the wasteland great again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like the Minutemen are just like clearly the best faction to side with.
Yeah, they're the least, homicidal.
Yeah, which is pretty important in the wastes. But yeah, I don't.
All right.
Oh,
Do you know what my companion you're gonna go with?
what companion? I have no idea. I usually don't. I guess I haven't played Fallout 4 for a long time. I kind of forgot how like in depth the companion system is. It is kind of like how do you feel about games where it's like it almost feeds you into like trying to like bang your companions? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where it's like you pretty much
Literally Baldur's Gate 3.
yeah. Where it's like you do nothing, like you don't do anything to like suggest that, and you just have Piper as a follower long enough, and Piper's like, "Yo, pipe me, ha 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 ha." You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you
But
mean.
it's like, and then it's like every character is like that, and it's like, no, I just like shooting guns with you, so I'm still kind of getting over my dead wife who got assassinated in front of me. Also, something I was thinking about, why does the main character never go back to the vault and get his wife's body, or husband if you decide to be a female character, and fucking bury them? They just leave it in a vault to fucking rot. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, if you think about the logistics, it is.
I don't know, you go back in to like get that cryo gun with your dog lockpicking the lock, but you're gonna leave your fucking husband or wife there to die, just to rot in a vault, get eaten by cockroaches forever. I don't know, man. Seems kind of fucked up.
It's pretty fucked up.
But yeah, so that is that's Fallout 4 in a nutshell. I guess, what did you think about the plot of the show with like her dad kind of being the villain, and the some of the like what was it Buds, is that what they were, like the ones that you get frozen? And then like, what the hell's up with Mo Daver? Like, did she get frozen, or what's happening there? Like, what did you think about the plot overall?
Yeah, she would have had to have gotten frozen.
I know, but like,
in the beginning, the show kind of goes in and makes it look like Maximus saw the original bombs drop, but I was like, no, he can't have like seen the bombs drop without then getting frozen and then being found. I was like, someone else dropped some more bombs. I knew the dad was not a good guy, but I didn't know he was also responsible for the bombs.
Yeah, like that whole like Vault 31 thing, where like a lot of those characters are like Chet's new like girlfriend, wife lady. Apparently she's one of Bud's buds that was from Vault 31 as well. So it's like,
Yeah.
Like, if they, like, when Lucy's brother finds out about that, like, are they gonna, like, try to kill the guy? Like, what's going on with that whole thing? Also, like, why would those one people in that vault that they run into, why were they worshiping Moldaver as like a god? Do you remember that?
Oh, the one where they're super nice.
Yeah, and
even
then
though
they all started like stripping their clothes off and then like worshiping, like, was it like the Flame Mother or some shit? And it was like a picture of Moldaver. So
yeah,
they didn't really get into that either, and it looks like she's dying. So I think there's like a lot of plot points, but were you surprised when like the ghoul was like, "Where's my family?" Like he still believes, or like he knows that his family is like in a vault somewhere, like frozen, like kind of like maybe in Vault 31. Maybe his wife's in there.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I think that's what I took as what happened. Like she's in there, and that maybe she took the kid with her right before she went.
Fair. Yeah, that would make sense.
But they were like the kid was at the party when they were dropping, so
yeah, they must have got there pretty quickly. And then I wonder if they just like left him outside or something. I don't know. I guess we'll see about that, but I guess that's a little ways away before the next season comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess spoilers if you haven't seen the show, but if you haven't, you should probably go watch it.
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
Yeah, same.
All right.
Cool.
Last thing on our little agenda, the Warhammer drama.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Can you just that short recap you gave me about the Warhammer thing? Can you just start with that? Because that was like kind of summed it all up perfectly.
Oh, people are mad because women are in Warhammer.
There you go. All right, next episode.
Okay. So it's a little bit more complicated than that, and I kind of understand why they're like mad about the situation as a whole, not particularly like them adding women into it, but like how the company went about doing it is a little weird and like kind of patronizing. But pretty much what happened is that in Warhammer there's like the Emperor, right? He's like the leader of mankind, all this stuff, right? He created these kind of super soldiers called Custodes. And they're like his guard, you know, like they answer only to the Emperor. And in all the books and stuff, they've always been just like males. It's like a group, they call them the 10,000 because there's 10,000 Custodes and they defend the Emperor and stuff like that. And they've always been males. So what happened is that each of the factions in the game gets like a rule book called a codex, and they'll have like pictures and their rules and then like different stories. And there's one like short story where it mentions like the character is a female custody, which had never been mentioned before. All the other books have said they've been males. And then everyone was like, was this like a misprint? Like what's going on? And like the people who make Warhammer Games Workshop was like, no, there's always been female Custodes and all this stuff like this. And everyone's like, no, there hasn't been. Like, here's like all the lore about like saying there's always been men and stuff. And then pretty much like Games Workshop was like, it's canon now, get over it. And yeah, so that's kind of like the whole scenario. So I don't know. I think it's kind of dumb that they've added in the female, like tacked it on to a story. And I feel like if they would have like made a big story, like a grand story about it, it would be better. Because like I feel like if they want diversity, don't shoehorn in your diversity. Make diversity with good characters. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it feels like they're trying to make like win internet points, and it's like we could have like had added female Custodes, made a really good story, made good characters, and then people would have been like more accepting of it. But instead they just kind of tacked it on, and then when people ask questions about it, they just kind of dismiss them and be like, there's always been female Custodes. So that's pretty much the drama.
It's not real representation. It's just
Yeah.
faux representation, being like, they were here the whole time. He he he. Like, no, you never said they were there, and now we're just supposed to accept that they're there.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make people in that group feel seen, because you never got the stories with, involving your group here.
Yeah.
So like representing a certain group doesn't matter if you're not gonna see them do anything.
Yeah, but the thing is like, I guess on the internet, so it's not real life. Like, you have like the people who really hate it, so like, oh, Games Workshop's going woke, all this stuff, you know what I mean? And then you have like the people on the other side who are like, haha, get over it, losers. We're like, almost like we're coming for your game to make it more inclusive. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like if I was part of that group, I'd be like, I don't want to be shoehorned in. I want to have a good story. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I don't know. And that's why I kind of think it's dumb. I don't really care if there's female custodians. I just feel like they could have done it better to like, if they want diversity, do good diversity. Don't just tack people onto it. But the worst part is like, the custodies are like one faction of like the Emperor's guards and soldiers. The other faction is the Silent Sisters. So it's literally an all-female faction of like these like psyker people. So like, if you use psychic powers, you can't when you're around them because they like drain it from you. So there was already like a setup where it's like, these are like the custodians are like the Emperor's like guards, his soldiers, like, and this other faction is this the Sisters of Silence, who are also his guards and protectors. There's like an all-female group and an all-male group. So it's like, there was already a lot of diversity inside of that. Like, on the tabletop, when you play Custodies, you have all the, now males and females, but male Custodies and then all the Sisters of Silence. So like, it was already a group that already had diversity. So it's like, why? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But yeah, so it just seems like shoehorned in for like diversity's sake, which I think is like a bad way to do diversity. Like, if you want diverse characters, make good stories about them. So, but that's pretty much the drama. People are like saying like, this is the end of Warhammer. It's over now. Everyone go home. We're boycotting the game. So we'll see how it goes. I assume nothing's bad's gonna happen, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll keep going. It's kind of a juggernaut, and yeah, this might hurt it for a little bit, but I think those people will probably come back. I think it's
just like YouTube drama, because there's also another thing on top of it where there's like a new Warhammer game that's coming out, and one of the people who are apparently like one of the writers is like a trans activist, which I don't care, but like apparently like on their Twitter they're talking about how like, I'm gonna make all the characters in Warhammer trans and all this stuff, and people are freaking out about it. I'm like, I think this person's just obviously trolling you guys. I think.
Yeah, obviously
I don't actually
it's a joke.
know. I assume that's a troll, but like, I don't know. It might just be like, rage bait to get people mad. But it's like, okay, can you guys just keep making stories that are good and I'll read them? Can we stop, please? So,
yeah,
but yeah, that's pretty much the drama. So nothing crazy, but people think it's the end of the world, but it's just the internet. So who knows?
They always do.
Yeah. So I mean, the same thing with like, well, I guess the Helldiver thing's a little bit more serious because people who bought a game can no longer play the game. So that's like kind of like theft, kind of not really, but like they paid $40 to play a game and now they're no longer allowed to play the game. But yeah, so I guess was that the last thing you want to talk about? I don't know. I don't really have anything for homework, so I don't know if you thought of anything.
I got nothing. I'm gonna be totally honest.
Okay, well, everyone's homework.
Okay, how about this? Since we don't have.
Yeah.
Oh
no,
you
I
have
was
something?
just gonna say everyone's homework is to think of homework for next time. That was that.
Yeah, that works too. I was just gonna say that since we don't have homework, we might as well give people like a heads up of what we're probably gonna cover in the next episode, because I will keep watching YuYu Hakusho. And then if my schedule with my significant other works out, then I will be watching the Last of Us TV show.
Oh, hell yeah. You haven't watched that?
I did not watch it, no.
I've watched it 3 times, so...
Oh,
I liked
okay.
it, so... It sounds like I watched it, like, a lot, but it's like, I watched it by myself. Like, one weekend, I went home to, like, my parents, and I watched it with my sister and my mom, and then I watched it with my girlfriend. So I pretty much, like, I watched it by myself, and then, like, watched it multiple times, like, with other people, so... But I really like it, so...
Alright, that checks out.
And I've never played any of the games either, so... But yeah, so... Cool. Yeah, I'll see if I can watch that.
Do you know what you'll probably be covering?
Bro, I have no idea, so... I could,
Alright.
I'm, was it not this, like, not tomorrow. We're recording this on a Sunday. Not tomorrow do I start field work, but the next Monday I start field work, so I'm gonna literally be in a boat every day until August. So I'm just trying to prepare for that, physically, mentally. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. But yeah, so I might not have like a lot of great topics unless you want to learn the ins and outs of crayfish. So
I'm not ruling it off the table.
Dude, okay, we have to have... I'll prepare... We'll have to prepare eventually for the Warhammer episode and then the crayfish episode. So...
Sounds good.
Alright.
Alrighty.
We just want to awkwardly wait until it ends and then we